Hello, brothers and sisters. Father Nathaniel Haslam, International Chaplain for the Lumen Institute. I hope you had a wonderful January. We're already in February. Hard to believe. We're going to be starting Lent soon, right? Lent is almost upon us. And in our last month, we focused on Lumen Action. We are committed to bring Jesus to others through various forms of action on a personal level, on a chapter level, and even on an institutional level in Lumen International. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, we're going to be spending the rest of this year focused on the Catholic social doctrine. The teachings of Jesus applied to the social reality, right? The social reality of family life, the social reality of business, the social reality of politics, of the environment. We are a social people, right? Human beings live in a social community. And so the gospel is not just pious thoughts, right? Jesus calls us, whenever we live in a community and the community dynamics are in play, we have to ask ourselves, well, Lord, how shall we act in these different dimensions of life, right? The same could be said about entertainment, the same could be said about sports. All these areas of life imply applying the gospel message. So all that to say, brothers and sisters, what we're going to do this year is we're going to focus a few circle meetings on politics, the first part of the year. We're going to transition into family life, and then we're going to finish with business. Okay, that's going to be our trajectory this year, to revisit the core components of the social doctrine. If you remember from about 2 years ago, we went through this, and especially we focused a lot on the decision-making matrix, that decision-making framework for leaders, right? The Christians, right? Human dignity, we're all infinitely valuable and worthy of love and respect. The common good, the conditions that we can flourish as a social body, right? Together. Solidarity, that yes, you are your brother's keeper and you can't ignore their suffering. We need to stand together and help those in need. And fourth, subsidiarity, that the higher level of an organization should not do for the lower level of organization what it can do for itself, to promote maturity, to promote responsibility and growth at the local level, and not take that opportunity away from those who can actualize that for themselves. So these four building blocks go into, in theory, every Catholic decision we make in the social reality, right? Ideally, how do we know we're doing the will of God and being Jesus-like in social decisions? Well, it's by taking these four building blocks and looking at them in that situation and applying them. Okay? So we're going into the theme of politics, a fun theme, right? And no, this particular month, we're not going into elections, just in case you're wondering, Father Nathaniel. No, we're not. We're actually going to speak this month about war and conflict, something that's on a lot of people's mind, obviously, because of the disaster and the war and the death and destruction that's been caused, right, in the Middle East. So many men and women who are suffering right now, young and old alike. We pray for the Ukraine and Russia. We pray for Gaza, for Israel, for all places of conflict. And this month, I really invite us to pray for peace. I really invite us to delve into the circle materials. It can be a little controversial, perhaps. We can have different opinions at times. The materials give us some points of reference for the theme of war and conflict and the pursuit of peace, and why the pursuit of peace is at the center of Christianity, and why we are all called, as Jesus himself said in the Beatitude, we're called to be peacemakers, right? Pursuit of peace, no matter the situation. That doesn't mean there's no violence in the world at times. It doesn't mean that all wars are avoidable at times. But in the middle of these unideal situations, the Christian needs to look to what does the road of peace, towards greater peace look like? Because Christ wants to bring his peace to each heart. And we are ambassadors of the Lord's peace. So my prayers are with you this month. May God bless you and your families, and also encourage you as we get ready for Ash Wednesday to really take to heart the call to conversion of heart, the call to deeper walking with the Lord in prayer, fasting, almsgiving, which is that road to embrace the Lenten journey more deeply. God bless you and take care.